It's outstanding. Simply outstanding. Welcome in. Tuesday. Rico, courtside, Duke and MSU tonight. We'll take you to 6 o'clock. We got a lot of ground to cover. And listen, we'll get to the Lions. We're going to get to Michigan. I may even talk a little Michigan State today. But I have to start with something. This is probably a bad idea. And if it fails, I can promise you that at 2:30 we'll do football. That's my deal I'm making with you today. I want to take this opportunity to ask a question of you because I feel like I've been painted in a very negative light with one specific team. A team that, well, you're hard on them. You're not fair to them. Okay. You're not patient enough. Oh, okay then. I'd like to know when I'm allowed to launch Troy Weaver out of a cannon. I would really love to ask. I don't know, in the midst of the Lions being amazing and Michigan being amazing, plus the scandal of our feelings about the Red Wings, who are much improved and fun to watch, and even the blip of Tiger news you've gotten, it's hiring one of the best play-by-play guys in the game in Jason Benetti. We're all feeling pretty good about ourselves. Unless you wear green and white, then it's just, I can't help you. But if you haven't perused, I mean, it's one thing if you're not good, but do the Pistons have to be the worst team in basketball again? Again? I mean, they're sitting at the bottom of the East. Go look at the next 4 or 5 games. They've lost 8 games in a row. I don't know if they're going to win a game in the next 4 or 5 games. Even if they do, what are you, 3-13? 3-14? I mean, I just would love to ask a question. How much patience do you have left for the 12 people that like this team? I don't know what Weaver's plan even is. The roster makes no sense. And this deep into a rebuild, which, what is this, year 4 now? What's your core, again, if you don't mind telling me? Because I can give you 2 players, Cade and Duren. And you'll go, oh my God, well, what about Jaden? Man, if Monty Williams doesn't hate Jaden Ivey, he's got a weird way of showing it. The kid's playing 9 minutes a night. The roster makes no sense. The floor spacing is awful. You continue to play Killian Hayes and Osur Thompson. Osur Thompson shoots like, David, if you put one of your little kids out there to shoot on a 10-foot regulation hoop, it takes like everything in his body to throw the ball at the hoop. He's awful. And I go, I look around the league at teams that have bottomed out and have at least had the decency to get out to 500 starts. Indiana would be one. The Houston Rockets, whose rebuild started the same time as yours, is one. I mean, how many situations in basketball are objectively worse than the Pistons from an organizational standpoint? I mean, you do realize Cade is going to be extension eligible this summer. You will have gotten nothing. The over-under in Vegas was 27. I don't know if they're going to get to that. They're awful to watch. And if I have to hear another member of that broadcast tell me they tried hard, I'm going to lose it. I wanted to ask this question. It's a Tuesday, not a Monday. It's a Tuesday, not a Friday. We don't have any breaking news with Michigan. I don't want to go there. The Lions we talked a ton about yesterday, we're going to talk more about it today. And honestly, the Red Wings, I've checked in on them several times this year watching games. They are fun, they're fast, they're exciting, they're winning. When am I allowed to be done with the Pistons? Like, I don't know what Troy Weaver has sold Gores. The offseason sucked. You don't get to blame injuries. I don't want to hear about it because even if Bogdanovich was playing, he can't guard a cat. I don't want to hear it. At least Osur rebounds and plays defense. Well, I mean, Troy Weaver has collected big men like Fabergé eggs. None of them can play. Duren's the only one with a pulse. I told you Bagley was ass. He's ass. And you signed him. Enjoy that. I told you Wiseman was garbage. He's garbage. What What is the plan here again? What direction are they going? What is their identity? They spent $1 zillion on a head coach. Jaden Ivey apparently is on the outs with the organization. And they're sitting here at 2-10. I needed 2 segments. That's all I needed, David. I just wanted to start and ask the question. I'll throw the number out. We can move on. I'm going to get to the Lions. I'm going to get to Michigan. I may get to Michigan State. 2 weeks from today, who's the head coach? Don't tell me you're going into December with that process. 2 weeks from today, who's the head coach? But I just needed to ask the people of this fine city. Because you know what? For a long time, hey, the Red Wings got bodied equally by me. And I told you, it was time for Yzerman to start doing something. And he did. And Kenny and I, once they got DeBrincat, I accepted everything else. They're doing something. So if we can ask that of Yzerman, why am I vilified if I ask it of Troy Weaver? Troy Weaver's not a pimple on an elephant's ass in the NBA. You're not Pat Riley. You're nobody. What on earth am I watching? What is the plan here?
I wish I could tell you, Mike. I really wish I could. This team is god-awful, and the Grizzlies, who started 0-6, now have the same amount of wins as the Detroit Pistons.
David, they're playing without a top 10 player in this league and John Morant.
But that's the point. That's the point. The Grizzlies starting 0-6, okay, and you didn't like it, but it's kind of expected when they don't have their best player. Every player that's worth anything supposed to be part of the future is playing for the Detroit Pistons, and they look this bad. Mike, do you remember who Stu Jackson is?
The former Knick and Grizzlies coach and the rest?
Former GM of the Grizzlies when they first started out in Vancouver. And right now, in the first 4 years, Troy Weaver is on pace to be worse record-wise in his first 4 years as being a GM than what Stu Jackson was. Stu Jackson was the GM of an expansion team, an expansion program, and this team has history. This franchise has a history of greatness, of players that were great, winning championships, and Troy Weaver has come in here and done nothing.
David, look at this schedule. Hawks in Cleveland, in Toronto, host Denver, in Indiana. Who are they beating? Now, Washington's terrible. You want to tell me you beat Washington? Okay. But look at the state of the franchise. $8 tickets? What am I paying to watch? How many years do you get? And you know what I demanded of Troy Weaver this summer? The same thing I demanded of Yzerman. Show me. Bring me an adult. Bring me someone who can help this team win. It is time to begin winning. It is time to invest in Cade. It is time to move this thing forward. Do you know what Troy Weaver did? He essentially farted in the microphone. You had to bribe Monty Williams to take the job. And when I watch them, look, I'm far from Hugh B. Brown here. Plenty of time. If I understand that functionally the pieces you have make no sense together, then what's your excuse? If you have more than one non-shooter in today's NBA on the floor, you're non-functional. The Pistons openly and brazenly start 3 of them. What am I missing here? Jaden Ivey is being burnt to the ground by Monty Williams. It's basically Monty versus Jaden. Okay. Tell me again as a fan what you're watching. What are you paying to see? You taking the kids down there? Because I'll tell you what, I don't shill for anybody. But if you're going to take the family out to see one of our winter teams, take them to a Wings game. At least the Wings are fun. They're exciting. It's worth it. This is what I always say to you. Rebuilds, and you'll go, oh, no bleep, Mike. But think about what I'm saying to you. Rebuilds either work or they don't, and you know it quickly. There is no 5-year build. A rebuild is it's worked or it hasn't in 3 years. Tops. You bottom out, and you begin. That's it. I'm sorry. I don't think this team is any better. They have a woeful, and please, I am humbly before you begging you. I am on my knees begging you for mercy from this one talking point. Do not call me about Isaiah Livers. Do not call me about Bogdanovic. Please, I beg you. One is a 35-year-old wing who should have been traded 2 years ago. Yes, he can shoot. He can't guard anybody. He'll give you 18 on one end of the floor and give up 21 on the other. I don't want to hear it. You made no meaningful moves this offseason. Your GM has like Rex Ryan had a foot fetish. Troy Weaver's got a big man fetish. What's every broken down guy over 6'10" I can collect? Nothing.
Bring back Kevin Knox.
Right. Nothing adds up. That's the other thing. I have no issue with reclamation projects. Have any of Troy's worked? I mean, Jahlil Okafor is selling Dippin' Dots at Tiger games. None of these have worked. Kevin Knox, Josh Jackson,
Marvin Bagley,
and you paid him. James Wiseman, Kevin Knox. I mean, Christ. Better off signing Len Bias. He's dead. Oh. I mean, I just put a casket out there on wheels. I can make that joke. I'm a Celtics fan. Ruined my childhood. Help me understand. I deliver for you guys 4 hours a day. Do me a kindness. Let me do 2 segments on this, and then we'll get back to the business. 248-539-9797. We're chock full of football, but I needed to do this. This is about cleansing the soul. I did a little confessional with David pre-show. We toasted some communion bread. We snacked on some of the crackers. And now I'm cleansing the soul in a sports way. David, when can we do confessional? I'd like to have a meeting.
The minute Troy Weaver brings a winner in here.
The minute the Pistons win a playoff game, I go to church. That's what we're going to do.